Good afternoon and welcome to Lambert Plains Episode 5. Once again, this is Mr. Bass, one of the assistant principals at Lambert, and I am super enthused and excited to be joined by another one of our assistant principals, Dr. Ashley Johnessee. Dr. Johnessee, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I know you've heard of Lambert Plains. Are you excited to be on Lambert Plains?
It has been like a dream come true, sir.
I'm sorry we had to wait till Episode 5 for you, but strategically we did because we have a big event coming up that parents were sending this out to you, and we've waited till today because coming up is what? Elective
registration, sir. It is the most crucial, exciting time of the year. So this coming week on Wednesday, February 27th, beginning at 8 a.m., students can log into Student Portal and they can begin selecting their elective courses for the 2019-2020 school year. They have until Wednesday, March 6th at 4 p.m. where the window will close, and they will be able to tell us all the wonderful things that they want to take next year as their elective courses.
Now, we have so many pathways here at Lambert High School. So if I'm, say, a rising sophomore maybe, what would I be thinking about as far as an elective, or how do pathways steer the choosing of electives?
I'm so glad you brought that up. Our rising sophomores are a really great class, and a lot of them started out with an elective that maybe was not their favorite. So pathways are basically completing 3 classes in a sequence. That could be completing Spanish 1, 2, and 3, or French, not to, forget my French friends.
Sure, oui.
Oui. So it also could be completing a pathway for a career tech course, which might be Intro to Healthcare, Essentials of Healthcare, and phlebotomy. So it can be a variety of ways. As a freshman or a rising sophomore, you may want to begin exploring a different pathway. So there's an option for you to not just be locked into taking the next course in the sequence that you've started, but you could actually choose to take a second introductory level course and kind of get some exploration of the different flavors we have to offer.
So if you wanted to, for example, let's even go another level up. Let's say I'm a rising senior, but yet I've kind of all of a sudden thought, maybe I'd like to dabble in art a little bit. Is it possible just to take art as an elective just because do I have to be in a pathway to take something like art or broadcast video or culinary or something like that?
These are great questions. So actually, no. As a senior, if you're deciding, hey, I've got a little space in my schedule now, I've always kind of wanted to dabble in art, maybe I want to take photography or visual arts, then you could definitely sign up for that first level course, and those will be available during the portal. However, the one thing you can't do is just because you're a senior, you can't skip those intro classes. You still have to have taken the introductory level course. But if you're a senior who took an introductory level course as a freshman and then you finished a pathway and you want to take the second level course because maybe it branches off, you have that option too.
Excellent. So tell me just a little bit about the process. Let's say I'm not too keen on technology. What do I need to do to make sure my child, or if I'm a student, what do I need to do to kind of get signed up and kind of evaluate what my decision needs to be?
Great question. And sir, no one would doubt that you're not a savvy technology person with your own podcast. Pretty exciting stuff.
True enough.
So as a family, I would just recommend that you go to the Lambert website, specifically our Class of 2023 webpage for our rising freshman students, because there are handbooks associated with the registration process, including a comprehensive course offerings list, which is pretty helpful when you're trying to figure out what do I want to take next year. So if I am going into the process, I'm going to log in to Infinite Campus or Parent Portal, and during the window, you'll have this new tab which says Course Registration. And there are pictures and step-by-step instructions in both of the handbooks for all of our classes so that students and families can follow along and make sure that they are, navigating the process. Once they log in, you're going to be able to see the courses that you have been recommended for. So this is where your teachers have had conversations with you and said, yes, I think this would be a great placement for you for the next year. And you'll see that for your core area classes or any second level elective courses. All of those have to be recommended by your teachers. Then you'll be able to go in and make selections on any other electives you'd like to take. So you'll make a request for at least 2. That's what we'll need to make sure you have a full schedule. But the requirement that we like to place is 4, because if you place the first 2 and one of those doesn't work out because maybe you're taking some very high level, very specific courses, then we want to have some flexibility, and making sure you have 4 choices gives you better options.
Now, that's very informative. Is there anything that is kind of new coming around the bend as far as an elective for next year, or maybe something that unfortunately may not be in the hopper, as they say, for next year regarding as we near the time to get signed up for your electives?
That's a great question. Every year we make our schedule based off of the requests we have from our community. And one of the requests that we've had is a lot of people have asked, what about teaching as a profession? It was a very popular pathway a few years ago. Unfortunately, we didn't have the ability to offer it for the past 2 years. But since students have started requesting it, we're going to put it out to see if the course makes. And when I say if the course makes, we want to see if there are enough students selecting it to build a section or more. So teaching as a profession is going to come back. You'll see that's available as an option. I also want to take this as an opportunity to talk a little bit about some of these classes require auditions or applications, and I think that's really important to note. There is on our school counseling website, all of our application course information is available, and if you are applying for one of our audition courses such as band or musical theater, you can request a generic placeholder and then make sure you speak with one of our program coordinators to make sure that you can go through the audition process. And then they'll place you in the correct class period for your level.
Now, if I have a question as a parent regarding any of these things we've talked about, who would you suggest we contact? And how? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're totally good. I usually am the interrupter. So what I would say is my first stop would be to the website. Really, a lot of the questions we find with our families are procedural questions, and some of it really is just getting into Infinite Campus or your parent portal and then knowing where the clicks are. So knowing that information, we've provided you with a screenshot of directions, and hopefully that's a good first start. The second person I would make sure that your student is able to connect with would be their counselor. And the counselors are available during Lunch and Learn for students to stop by with questions. A lot of the questions they're going to have are really about, if I drop this class, can I take this class? And so that brings me to the exciting next part of the registration process, which is the waiver timeline. And that process opens a week later, March 11th through March 18th. And it's just basically a Google form and survey that you fill out the courses that now that you've seen your full schedule of requests, that then these are some things or changes that I think need to be changed. The waiver process is a little bit difficult sometimes for our families to navigate because they have a lot of questions about it. So what I would just say is what you'll make sure is that you request any changes through the waiver, and then you'll have an opportunity to review all of the courses that you're requesting for the 2019-2020 school year on March 25th through March 27th. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right before we leave for spring break. And that gives you an opportunity to look over all the classes that are on your request list. I have to remind everybody that's not your schedule, and we'll show more classes more than likely than you'll actually be able to fit into your school day. But it's a great place for you to review all the things that you're asking to take, and then you'll get your final schedules in July.
Wow, that's awesome. It's very informative, and I think that pretty much puts a timeline in place. So once again, to kind of bookend it where we started from, people need to be looking at making these elective choices
this week, starting on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And so some of those questions you might have about elective classes, definitely feel free to see our teachers and ask friends. It's really a lot of that, what am I interested in? We want you to find a part of your day that you can have some fun and really focus on your passions. And then you have until March 6th to make your final selection. There's going to be an email that goes out directing everybody to our website, so you've got all the information and the instructions on how to do it. And then more information, as I mentioned, there's the waiver window and then also the viewing portal. We'll send out an email blast to everybody and keep it on our website reminding you of what's coming up.
And parents, you should be very enthused about this because we have so many great offerings here at Lambert High School. The Pathways, it's a no-lose proposition. Take your pick because, our electives are awesome here.
They are awesome.
Of course, as well as our cores. But we are really excited. It's going to be a great process, and we're excited for another year of elective fun and excitement at Lambert High School.
Can't wait.
Dr. Johnessee, you are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Tom Bass.
Could I have you back sometime?
Anytime, sir.
All right, well, let's close out by saying hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns.
We'll see you later, parents. Have a great day.